Coming up next on The Doctor, we all know secondhand smoke isn't good. But what about the other secondhand dangers? From medications and containers to the secondhand things you should never buy, we've got you covered next on The Doctor.
Are you expecting a tax return this year and need a car?
Hi there, this is Paul Beckman, Probably Song. This is The Doctors coming up. I'm going to record the show and create an oral commentary about it through song, looking for health tips to sing about to reiterate into my mind so I remember them better.
Used car dealer. At Greater Detroit, you'll get twice the car for your tax return. Catch you at the auction.
Lowest prices throughout Michigan. The Ford Community and Performing Arts Center presents Drum. Four cultures, four rhythms, one heart. An exhilarating musical performance celebrating dance, rhythm, and song from the heart of Nova Scotia. Drum. Saturday, February 25th. Call now for tickets at 313-943-2354 or visit dearborntheater.com. Drum. Saturday, February 25th. Only at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center.
Got a new gadget? Seven's got great apps for you.
Secondhand smells, secondhand medications,
Even secondhand vomiting.
This is truly disgusting, but it's a contagious form of vomiting.
We're revealing the secondhand health problems you don't know about.
The top reasons that you're getting carpal tunnel syndrome, it may not have anything to do with height.
And offering first-hand solutions.
Also about the new techniques.
Plus,
The biggest don'ts when it comes to buying secondhand clothing.
It's mold is born because of the moisture that gets into the clothes.
containers.
A lot of the things in the plastic can actually cause birth defects in babies, so be careful, ladies.
Even sports equipment.
Never buy a secondhand helmet.
Secondhand health problems.
Scary stuff, right?
All new on The Doctors.
Welcome to the show today. So you've all heard about the harmful effects of secondhand smoke, but today we're actually going to reveal all the other secondhand health problems that you've never heard about. So a lot of what you see on our set back here, these are all secondhand items. We're going to talk about the effect that all of these might have on your health. Everything from secondhand smells, secondhand medications, even secondhand vomiting. We're going to tell you what they are, what they mean, and also the dangers that you need to look out for. So I'm going to ask you this question. When it comes time to getting those medical test results back, is it okay to get them secondhand from an assistant? Well, let's see what you had to say.
I don't want anything secondhand, including my medical results. I'll only trust my doctor. It doesn't matter to me who gives me the information. The doctor, the assistant, whatever. It's all written down. They can read, can't they?
I'm perfectly happy getting my test results from the medical assistant.
I want my results from the horse's mouth. I came here to see my doctor, so I'll wait for my doctor to get my results.
From the horse's mouth.
Yeah,
We have some normal results on one of my kids. I'll have the nurse call the parents. Hey, those tests we did are normal. Okay, but if there's something that needs to be discussed, I'll wait till the end of the day when I have time, and I'll call the parent. And because I know if I tell them there's an abnormal result, they're going to have a lot of questions, and they're not going to want to talk to the nurse. They're going to want to talk to me.
In my practice, because I'm in solo practice, I see all of the results, and I will need to know certain ultrasounds or things need to be associated with symptoms and what the patient actually came in for initially. So those type of things where you actually need to go back to the chart and really interpret the results, those should be given by the doctor.
Is it fair to say that in most circumstances, if a medical assistant is calling you with your results, it's a little bit, yes. Because usually, if the doctor's calling, then that's the terrifying moment. Because a doctor's not going to call typically and say your pap smear is completely normal.
Right, it's really, if we call you, there's something to discuss.
Usually there's something, yeah.
And we can't leave you, and a lot of people get irritated because we cannot leave a voicemail because, depending on who's going to get that information exactly. So, you'll get, a phone message that'll say, please call the doctor back. A lot of people are, very edgy until they can do that. And your doctor may be in, delivering a baby or in surgery or whatever. It may be hard to get to them.
But I think everyone deserves an explanation. I think that's the key here. If you're going to give an abnormal result, you have to explain what the next steps are and where you go from there.
That's my problem actually with some of the internet things that will just send patients their lab results. Why would you, the patient doesn't know how to interpret that lab result. In the meantime, they're worried and concerned and don't know what it means.
A doctor's assistant is certainly one thing, but what about getting medical advice from a friend?
I have a terrible pain in my neck. It just started hurting out of nowhere.
Oh, that happened to me. My doctor just told me.
That happens to my mother all the time. She just takes coffee grounds and yogurt, rubs it on the spot, and it works every time.
An ache like that.
I wonder if it works if you use Greek yogurt.
Couple of these.
Take the tuna and flog yourself in the neck. That'll tenderize. Tuna salad.
I'm more confused now than when I started.
Yeah, it happens all the time, but be careful. I mean, a referral is one thing. It's like, hey, I'm looking for a great pediatrician. I just moved to Orange County. Happen to know one. Well, something like that, I think, is good.
But worse is with my pregnant patients. They'll have people all the time say, you don't look like you're big enough, you're a little too small. And this really gets pregnant women anxious. And it's really, and every woman actually looks different the way she carries.
I would say beware of not only friends' advice, but all the advertising advice out there. It's all the same. You can't trust everything you hear. And there's so much information, there's so much on the web, and every other commercial is, you need to take this medicine or get this treatment, and it's overwhelming.
You have to practice individual medicine, and that's why, I'll have women say, well, my girlfriend takes this birth control pill and it works for her. Well, it might work for her, but it may not work for you, or it might. But you have to remember, everybody's different.
So the single best advice I can give folks if you receive secondhand advice is corroborate it. Research it. Don't just believe it. Go ahead and research it on your own before you start instituting those measures. Discuss it with your own doctor. Is anyone feeling nauseated?
Are you pregnant?
Don't start. I'm getting some secondhand vomit coming on. Well, this is truly disgusting, but it's a contagious form of vomiting. Have a look.
Why is it that when people vomit, it causes other people to vomit, even when they're not sick? Makes me sick thinking about it.
This is Jim. This is so Jim. You okay?
Just seeing somebody gag like that makes me gag.
Are you really playing up?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm okay now.
The kid was just playing this.
It's called sympathy vomiting. It's a really interesting concept.
So
you are a sympathetic, very emotional man, and you wear your heart on your sleeve.
It's better to avoid second-hand advice. Someone who is not a doctor. It's better to avoid second-hand advice from someone who is not
So if they see one
a
of their
doctor.
brethren eating a particular food and then vomiting, they reflexively
Second-hand
vomit, thinking whatever we just ate is bad for us. So it's
Sympathetic vomiting
But what typically happens whenever you vomit, there's something that is irritating you, particularly if we're talking about food poisoning, for instance. And that urge to vomit actually originates at the base of your brain, and it sends signals to the middle of your intestines to retropulse everything up and out through your stomach, through your esophagus, and it's truly expelling anything that could be considered as an insult, whether it's an infection, food poisoning. In many instances, neurologic issues can cause vomiting as well. But if you are in a situation where someone else is retching, and you're like what do you do?
I was on the airplane a while back, and somebody got airsick, right? And of course, everybody around them starts to get the smell, and they're starting. Somebody sitting in that area he had a little jar of, I think, some menthol ointment, and he started handing it out. And just put a little dab under your nose, and it kind of pretty much masked the smell.
Well,